Warning! The following contains spoilers for the chapters I'm about to review. If you wish to not get spoiled, do pause the video and read the chapters yourself. However, if you wish to continue, or if you don't give two megazords about spoilers, please sit back, relax, and enjoy. Hey, Kaiser? Yee? Mom called. She said she wants us at the base after you're done. Really? What does she want? I don't know. She said something about your hyperpowers. Yeah, alright. See ya. Have fun.
My name is Story Kaiser. I'm an agent for the organization known as Cyber. Along with some help from my boyfriend, Luke Coywolf, I take a look at a series of DeviantArt stories about furry Power Rangers in order for me to learn how to harness my hyperpowers. Sounding like a cringy fanfic? Well, maybe, but still. Tune in as I go over the history, the story, and the Odyssey of Super Animal Squadron.
Whack the piñata with a hammer! Greetings and salutations! I'm Story Kaiser, and welcome to Odyssey of Super Animal Squadron, the podcast that likes to remind you to always wear a jacket when things get cold. Before we begin, I would like to give a special thanks to Eli-J-Brony for putting a comment on our first video. Well, my first video, but you get the idea. Also, you wanted me to let you know about any grammar errors. Oh, don't worry, Eli. I have something special once I'm done with Foresger. But that's later. Right now, let us continue our journey through Foresger with chapters 11 through 13.
Game start!
This chapter was decent. Sure, the Rangers using the heat blower was lazy writing, but hey, it did its job well. Also, I gotta keep reminding myself that this was inspired by Zoo Ranger and Mighty Morphin. So I'm pretty sure they've done weirder stuff in this. I think. The design for Freezy Breezy looks good enough, though
she may need to look more icy. A silver medal.
Chapter 11, Race at Snow, starts off at the Nature Center, where it's the beginning of spring. As for a while, it was winter, and Ron and Bernard wondered why Bob wasn't hibernating, which he tells them that it was a waste of time for him. They both start to laugh at that. Meanwhile, at Pollutin's castle, Pollutin notices the seasons are changing, and Dr. Quill shows up saying that he made the latest monster to make sure the world remains a frozen empire. The latest monster in question? Freezy Breezy. Back at the park, it suddenly starts snowing, and the Forsgers think that this might be the works of a monster sent by Pollutin. They head to Canis' office to tell him about this, so he takes out his Deus Ex book to find the monster, whom, as stated before, is Freezy Breezy. Speaking of her, she goes around the park, freezing people into frozen statues with her freeze breath. The Rangers show up to try and stop her, as she teases Bob about bears like him should be hibernating during this fine winter. Bob, in a furious rage, goes for an attack, however, gets frozen in the process. Blind rage indeed. The Rangers take the frozen popsicle near a fireplace back at the Nature Center. Canis then gives the Rangers, minus Bob, a mighty weapon to fight this freeziness of breeziness. A heat blower. Yeah, that might work, but you might as well just give him a flamethrower. Canis suggests if they use the heat blower on Freebie, the people and Bob will get unfrozen. So they go back to face Freezy Breezy once more, and Ron uses the heat blower on her, which causes her to melt and Bob and the people to get unfrozen. As Bob regroups back with the others, Pollutin turns Freezy Breezy giant. The Rangers form Forest O and fight Freezy Breezy. After exchanging a few hits, Forest O summons the Forest Sword and finish off Freezy Breezy, causing the snow to disappear. Thus, the chapter ends with Ron and Bernard apologizing to Bob for making fun of him, which he accepts. And also there's a mention of a episode in Tough Puppy, but I'm sure that won't lead to anything like canon and big or anything for that matter. Oh no, sirree. Oh no. I'm not in denial. You're in denial.
Everything you know is wrong. Black is white, up is down, and short is long. And everything you thought was just so important doesn't matter.
Well, this chapter was a bit of a letdown. I mean, I figured since Heather didn't hit the piñata when she was young, she would eventually get a chance to hit Pokinata with a stick to defeat him. But nope, that didn't happen, and yeah. The battle with Pokinata felt a bit short, short. Like, it could have been longer, but still. As for Pokinata's design, well, for the audio listeners, love you to death, but it looks like if a kid tried to draw a spiked ball with crayons. Side note, the DeviantArt user, Retahensid, the person who made the art I used to signify which chapter we're on, decided to draw the Foresger monsters into their own design. And I gotta say, Pokénota actually looks like a pinata in that one. Plus, he was the second person to be defeated way too easily. Apart from Stinker Tinker, so, bronze medal! Chapter 12, Pinata Panic, starts with Canis walking into the nature center, telling the rangers that there's going to be a kids' party coming up, and wants them to not fight near the presence of the children when another of Paludan's monsters show up. As Canis leaves, the rangers reminisce about their birthday parties, with Heather telling the rangers that when she was little, she couldn't hit the pinata because she couldn't reach it, because she was little. Even with the stick, she couldn't reach it. Anyways, as the birthday party's on with the kids having fun, Pluton, at his castle, hates that they're having a birthday party as, well, he hates happiness. So he decides to teleport the pinata to transform it into a new monster, Pokénata. Pluton teleports Pokénata back to the kids as he scares them, causing them to run away. Ron notices this, and the rangers morph, excluding Bob as he's getting cake. As they arrive, Pokénata opens his mouth and spits out little candies with arms and legs. Wait a minute. Candies with arms and legs. Did Eli just predict Gochizos? Bob shows up in his ranger form, not before putting the cake in the fridge, as he takes the kids back to the nature center to get the candy creatures off of them. Afterwards, he goes back to the others and swats off the creatures. Pokénata, being angry, then wraps the rangers up with a strap from one of his arms, before Bob tears it off with his claws. The rangers then form for his blaster and destroy the pinata. Then Pluton revives him and turns him into a giant. Many verses, same as the first, as the rangers call their forest beast to form Forzo. Natasha spots a pole they can use to whack Pokénata. They grab it and prepares to hit Pokénata, but he grabs it. Forzo then hoists him up off the ground and lets go of the pole, causing Pokénata to break on impact. So, that means it's over, right?
Wrong.
Turns out the tiny biting candies that was inside of him, they are roaming around the ground, pattering, like that one scene from The Nightmare Before Christmas. You know the one. Forzo detaches itself to form back into the forest beast, as Forest Snake uses its wind abilities to hoist the living candies up in the air, while Forest Fox burns them all to ashes. The chapter ends as the kids and the rangers enjoy some cake. And some other stuff, but I won't get into it. Well, yet another short chapter. Well, at least this was a bit more decent than the last short chapter I reviewed. Not by much, but at least alright. The fight with the two giant monsters was a neat touch for it. The fighting between the rangers and the storybook characters was pretty alright. I did not mind for the fact that the rangers used water guns to blast at the storybook characters to make them disappear. Again, I'm going to give this the benefit of the doubt. Lucky Boogie's design looks
Alright, albeit a bit weird, but still looking alright. Silver medal. Chapter 13, Storybooks with Bad Stories, starts with the Rangers reading some books and talking about how sometimes in stories that there's always going to be some disappointing or surprising moments. It really just depends on what you read. Kinda like reading The Dreadful Truth. Because there's a lot of disappointing and surprising moments. But in a bad way. Don't ask me how I know. Anyways, Bluton notices this and gets an idea. He goes to his shelf and grabs a book containing every single fairy tale there is. He then gives it to Dr. Quill so he can create a new monster, Looky Bookie. Back at the Nature Center, Canis, in his Mr. Wolf disguise, is what I'm assuming is relaxing until he notices some people running away from the Queen of Hearts. So he alerts the Rangers about this. They morph and go to where the chaos is, only to find Looky Bookie. He summons a few storybook characters, and they attack the Foresters. After finding out that they're not strong enough to take care of the characters, they head back to Canis for some answers to defeat Looky Bookie and its not-so-merrily storybook band. After consulting the Deus Ex book, Canis finds that the answer to take care of Looky Bookie and the storybook characters is simple.
Water!
So the Rangers return to the battlefield with Super Soakers, and all the storybook characters disappear. The Rangers regroup and use the Forest Blaster to destroy the living book. Well, before Bluton, like previous times, turns Looky Bookie giant. Speaking of giants, Looky Bookie summons the giant from Jack and the Beanstalk as the Rangers form Foresger. Looky Bookie lies to the giant that the Foresters were the ones who stole his golden goose, and he goes to attack them. Despite the Foresters' decline that they haven't stolen his goose, he doesn't listen to them. So they try using the Forest Sword to attack Looky Bookie, but the giant gets in their way, demanding to give his goose back. Ron distracts the giant, saying that his goose is over there. While the giant's distracted, they go around him and finish off Looky Bookie, causing the giant to disappear to who knows where. Afterwards, the Rangers return to the Nature Center and play some cards, ending the chapter. Well, that's all for today. Thanks for listening, folks. I'm Story Kaiser, and always remember to circulate the pages.
A jump to the sky turns into one heck of a dream.
Right. Chapter 11, Ready, Set, Snow, begins at the Nature Center. As it's I'm walking here, you fracker. You thought I was gonna say a slur, but no.